What's up? What's up, fam? How we doing? How is everyone tonight? We got lots of people in the house already. Let's see here. We got Lee. How you doing? Rocka's in the house. That ASC guy. Who is Reckless. Stardust is here. Let's see here. Donna McCoy. Rick is in the house. The Real Gear Survival. What's up? Thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate you all. Give me 1 second really quick. All right. Much better. So I had some surgery done today. Had my anchors put in, which sucked. Just to say. First they numb me, which doesn't last very long. What's up, CW? Then they cut the spots open, drill into my jawline, and then as they put the anchors in, they use a small little ratchet, and you can hear it click as it goes back. Click, click, click. Click, click, click. Oh, man. I was just waiting as he was tightening it down just to hear one snap or that my jaw breaking, but fortunately that did not happen. But my mouth is rough. My mouth hurts. But it is what it is. But yeah, he's using a little ratchet in my mouth, tightening down these anchors that screw into my bone. And it was just... How am I taking, bro? You mean talking? Honestly, I don't know how long it's going to last. I would be fine if I could talk without my bottoms in, because that's where the anchors are. But, I mean, I can do okay. It's better than having both of them out. And, ibuprofen or Vicodin. Rick, thanks for that comment earlier, bro. Like I commented back, it's reasons like that why we do the shit. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. But yeah, it's been a rough go with these things. Not quite what I thought it was going to be, but you know what? It's all right. Yeah, dude, I got you. I knew what you meant. Yeah, no, just it hurts, but I got to do it. I got to talk. So I'm okay. I'll get through it. And you know what's going to help me get through it? You guys. You guys help me get through this shit. So, got some pickups today. Picked up a couple $1 worth of dimes. And picked up this 90% commemorative. Yeah, I just... We be here for you no matter what. Please rest up and get some pain relief when always here. Fletcher. Yeah, man. Hi, Mandy. How are you? I know you guys are here for me. I'm here for you. Just I'm gonna be in pain for most of the weekend. Thanks, Al. Have a nice night. Get some rest. Lee, honestly, I haven't been into my email. I can check in a minute, but I can't switch off of YouTube to do it. So I'll look when I'm done. Actually, you know what? I'll pull it up on my phone. Oh, yes, I did see that email. Honestly, he's gonna have Cartier for it. Rick, look at you with all your gold out there.
Thank him.
You got lots of gold out there. Showing off. Little stacker, she likes to collect gold. Yeah, 1/10 ounces or higher. Yeah, no, those were cool. No, she's a silver stacker, and she pans for gold. So she does like to collect gold. She pans for gold also. So this is her vial right here. And she's got another vial that we're going to be adding to it already to make about a full gram. But, you know, honestly, she does silver dimes. She has a book of rosies that she's building. She earns a silver dime every time she does a chore. She's got constitutional silver. She's got a 30th anniversary kookaburra. So she's got some silver. She's got more silver than she does gold. But honestly, Rick, if you send something, anything she would love. Honestly, you know, you really don't have to send anything, but she does, yeah, She stacks silver and gold. Thanks, Cumulus. I am not the mumble stacker tonight, no. Although my mouth does hurt. By the time I got out of the dentist and back into town, already past the time for my pharmacy to be open, so I couldn't go get the pain meds that they gave me. So I gotta wait till tomorrow. Yeah, Justin. Yep, might want to learn how to grow food. Yep, I'm with you. I know how to grow food. My mouth does hurt though, Cumulus. Pretty bad. No problem, Bear. I saw your text message. Those are awesome. That's perfect. I appreciate you. I'm sure I could, Lee. Here's the problem with ice on my mouth right now. Is you would think that super cold would feel good, but it makes my mouth hurt 10 times harder or 10 times worse. And I learned that after I had all my teeth pulled the first time. About 2 or 3 days in, I was eating some ice cream and my mouth hurt really, really bad because it froze things up so bad. And when it got started to heat up, it was the worst. Right on, Bear. I'll talk to you later, man. Oh, it's all good. Cumulus. They, like I was telling Chat, when they put my anchors in, they're pretty much screws, right? So they drill pilot spots and then they started screwing those things down. And it's like a ratchet. You know, they tighten and click, 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 tighten, click, 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 tighten. And I could feel it getting tighter and tighter every time. And it hurt when they were at the end. They were tightening down, seating them all the way. And man, I'll tell you, I felt that shit all the way to my nose. It was pretty bad. It hurt. But it's over. Now it's just healing. And then in a couple of months, they're going to uncover them, fit me with new bottoms, and then I'll be able to snap them in. And hopefully, you'll see me streaming from a steakhouse. That's the ultimate goal, anyways. My mouth hurts, avocado. into that. Excuse me. That bar sounds good, don't it? Yeah, I'll get there. It's just a matter of time. I got the next 2 days off. So I got, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday off. So I got some time to heal. It'll all be okay. I've gone through worse, you guys. What I'm dealing with right now is nothing in comparison to some of the tooth pain I've dealt with over the years. So, when I compare it to that, I'm doing really good. Yeah, Rick's got a lot of nice gold out there he's showing off when he's in that video. It's nice. You got a nice little collection you got there, Rick. And you said that's just some of it. You're up in Canada, right, Rick? What part of Canada are you in? Alberta. I think you told me that before. I'm sorry, I didn't remember. Red Deer, to be exact. All right. So I'm going to put STG sticker up. I think I'm going to put it right here. That's a good spot for STG sticker. I do. All right, which one, you guys? I already know which one I'm fond of. But which one? Give me L's or R's. Let's go. L's or R's. Yeah, I figured that's the way I was going to go anyways. I like that one. I think that's sick. And we'll keep this one for the archives. Yeah, I think that's a great spot on the board too because it's going to be showing off a lot because of where the camera sits most of the time. And STG, huge supporter of mine. He's always in my chat. Gets himself a nice fat honorary spot on the board. That's what I'm talking about. Right next to some ASEs. How's that look? I think that looks great. Yeah, SDG is an awesome guy. Totally cool. Sent my daughter a vial of gold flakes, which are cool. And he sent her a copper round too. And the guy sent me a Morgan in 1880, and it's clean. And not that I needed to check it, but I did, of course, because it's metals. But she's nice. So I'm going to send him something. I'm not going to send him any silver, though, because you can't trade silver for silver, right? So I'm going to send him something a little more special than that. Neil, my mouth hurts, bro. Yeah, Nick. We need to have a talk with Nick. Eight, not eight. I got you, Neil. I know what you meant, bro. Tell Nick I hope he's doing okay. And why the hell was he pushing the car with you in the passenger seat, Donna, when you should have been in the driver's seat? That's what I'm saying. What was he thinking? Did he have a safety meeting right before you guys took off? But I hope he's doing better. Lee, have a great night. Tell Deneen I said hi. Silver Serpents, what's up, brother? What is going on? Just making pancakes for dinner, 11 p.m. Haha. Dude, I love pancakes for dinner. I'm not a pancake fan. I'm more of a French toast guy. But I've grown accustomed to pancakes as of recent because they're soft foods, and I tried to eat soft foods for like the last 3 months. Neil, a real man makes a girlfriend push the car. That's funny. You have no eggs or cinnamon? That makes sense. I don't mind pancakes. They're easy and they're fast. Right on, Lee. Yes, everybody realizes you're joking, Neil. I don't think anybody in my chat would ever talk that way, nor would I allow anybody in my chat to be that type of person. I just don't associate with those type of people. But I appreciate you throwing that out there, Neil. I like to surround myself with good, wholesome people, which are what you guys are. Good, wholesome people that care about each other. All people that would be willing to call my friends. You guys are all amazing people. You were built like a football player. OC Omega, congrats on hitting 300, buddy. Neil, like a tight end? Yes, Donna, everybody understands what you mean. Neil's just joking around when he said like a tight end, you know, a tight end. Girls with tight ends. Yeah, OC, congrats, brother. So, you guys, anybody buy? Has anybody bought recently? Oh, she's a Bears fan, bro. Block us, what's going on? The real Gear Up Survival. Half-ounce panda. You got a half-ounce panda recently? Still mad we didn't win the Super Bowl. Neil, are you a Pats fan? Nice. You're a Bears fan? Well, you weren't going to make it to the Super Bowl anyways. You got 2 1 out of 2026 and Tagliafico Mate Libertad tribute rounds for 171. That's a good deal, bro. You were the best team? Alright, so let's talk about this. Just because your record said you were the best team doesn't mean you were the best team. Your division absolutely sucked dog shit this year. And, you know, be the best of the dog shit is okay, but, you know, you guys got a whole nother couple years to go. You're almost there. Plus, I'm not a big Caleb fan. I think you guys went all in on him way too early. I think he needed a couple more years under his belt. I know every Bears fan's going to say the same thing. It's okay. This was the year. No, apparently it wasn't, Neil. But you know whose year it was? Foosball is the devil. Oh, you're an Eagles fan? Wow. Seattle Seabirds? What? Yeah, we had a pretty good year this year, didn't we? Probably not. Block kind of broke for a while. What did Block say? You going to go up for the show in Montreal? Oh man, I'd love to make it to a coin show with one of you guys. Some of the best deals will be found in the coin shows. That is true. You'll be able to find stuff at spot or maybe even back a spot in most cases, depending on how slow the show is. If the show's super busy and they're selling a lot, you're not going to get those kind of deals because they won't be giving it away unless they're just looking to sell out, which would be good for a lot of these guys. Motherfucker. Rhonda's being a bitch. Now Bob's being a dick. Pissing me off, Rhonda. Oh, motherfucker. Alright, I'm starting to get pissed. I'm gonna kick the shit out of Rhonda in a second here. You're gonna get demoted, bitch. Keep it up. Keep it up. One more time. It's your last chance. I'm not fucking around. Your last chance. Drop the ball this time and you're off the table. Picked up 2 JM silver bars, 2 maples, 2 colored ASCs, and 2 Canadian Mint 1 ounce colored maples. Nice, bro. Nice pickup, Rick. Hey, you know, this isn't bad. What's going on, Bart? Yeah, who'd you steal from, CW? I'm kidding. I doubt that you'd be stealing. But 400 for an Eagles, pretty good price. It's actually kind of robbery. Yes, Olympics. 1983. That would be the Los Angeles, and it looks like the throwing disc. So, inquiring minds want to know, buddy. CW, don't just throw that out there and then say, ask me how with an LOL and not give up the juice. Scene one of what? Oh, the 58 BC death dollar. Miss Aloha, welcome in. Aloha, Miss Aloha. Let's do a ping, guys. I'm kind of weak. Let's go. Let's get a good one. There we go. Boom, baby. Oh, you switched out silver for gold. Were you over in Stacker's Corner earlier? No. Well, they were talking. Somebody else was swapping out silver for gold too. So $10.50 face. Nice. It's a good deal. Oh, that's awesome, man. Tell them we all say congratulations. Tell them the Humbles Heroes say congratulations, Bart. It's really good to have a good relationship with an LCS, of course. That's a good deal, Silver Serpents. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Tell him we said happy birthday, too. Yeah, no, my LCS is really good to me. He, although I don't think he realized who I was on the phone earlier when I called. I asked him how much a dollar face was, and he said $6.50 per dime after the tax, and that's because Washington State has to add the tax. So if you take that tax, which would be 65 cents, and take it off of that, he would have been selling silver at $58 face. Which isn't that great of a deal. Yeah, $58 face. Nah. I called another LCS. They wanted $70 face. Yeah, for constitutional, no. I mean, no, it's not a super bad deal. Don't get me wrong. So I went and bought a few dollars fish from him like 2 weeks ago. He charged me 48. Yeah. So I I bought at $36 an ounce for two 1/10 gold rounds. About just I know when I'm not on the phone and I walk in the door, I get a better deal than if I call on the phone. I don't think he realizes me by name anymore because he sees me by face. I know there's more than one Todd out there. So when he sees me by face, I get a better deal. Yes. He just gives me a really good deal on junk when I go in the door. The last roll of dimes I bought from him, I bought a roll, $5 worth. It was like $228, and then he had to charge me the 10% tax, which brought it up to like 248. 14 dimes is an ounce. Give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta get something to drink. my mouth is killing me. Miss Aloha, you are welcome. And if you have any questions ever, just ask. I'm sure there's plenty of people in chat that can help answer any questions, or I can help whatever needs. We're all here to teach each other. Yeah, so just for people who don't know, $1.40 face. $1.40 face is an ounce of silver, right? So say you've got 2 walkers and 4 dimes, that's an ounce of silver. 14 dimes, ounce of silver. 4 quarters, 4 dimes, ounce of silver, right? 2 quarters, 1 50-cent piece, 4 dimes, ounce of silver. So as long as it adds up to $1.40, it's an ounce. One exception to that rule. Morgans and pieces, right? STG. Look what I got up, buddy. Did you see my mail call? You didn't respond. Did you see the mail call? Well, a lot of people, I posted like 5 minutes after we got off chat last night. Toronto Thin Coins. I had an extra one, sold it during one of my coin sales. Wish I kept it. It's getting better. My jaw hurts really bad though. The front of my mouth from where they drilled those anchors in. But we're in the home stretch. We are in the home stretch. So STG, my stickers are in 7 to 10 business days. They're in production right now. My metal poker chips should be here soon. So I'll be sending you out a swag pack as soon as I get all my stuff. When are you going live next? Yes, Humble Swag. Humble Swag. No, dude, I went to 3D60 Prints online. I got 500 stickers for $23. Yeah, that was a really good deal. I can't believe I found that good of a deal, honestly. Yeah, so I'll show you guys what design I went with. So this is what it looks like. The new Humble Stacker stickers. Alright, well, I'm going to come over and visit you. I won't be live Friday because I'll be picking up the kids. So, I won't be on Friday. I will be on Saturday for the Broken Humble show, but I won't be on Friday. But I'll come over and visit you for a while. Plus, Little Humble's got to come over and say hi too. She got to thank you for the stuff you sent. You ever do any prospecting, STG? Yeah, I know I was on the live. I just stopped by and saw you. The shovel. This guy back here. So, per I prospect gold, right? That's what this is. All gold that I panned. Right? So as I'm scooping the pay dirt into the gold pan to pan the dirt and get the gold out, I use a shovel. Well, Cartier Silver, who poured this and some other pieces that I got, this and these buttons right there, he said, hey, Humble, send me that and I'll pour you one out of silver. And I said, okay, so I sent it to him. And he poured it out of silver, but he needed two of them. So he stacked them on top of each other, and he poured me this. 999 fine. So Now, the whole thought behind it was to have a silver shovel scooping gold pay dirt and panning it. But that shovel is $9.99 and it's super soft. So I don't want to scratch it up. So I just display it instead. You dig the dirt between the cracks in the diamond district, and that's crazy nice. It's like old diamond district. Prospecting. If you've seen Frostbite video in Colorado, you should watch it. I will. I've been metal detecting for over 40 years. Most Civil War era relics, but have found many old silver coins. Thanks. That's so cool. Yeah, dude. He's just he's a friend of mine. He poured it. It's super cool. He used to walk by tracks every day. He was never there. That's funny. All right. Reckless. Have a great night, buddy. Yeah, well, remember, there's a prospector named Clash. And that guy went and did that and didn't find a whole lot. But I guess one of the best places to do it would be like right in front of a jewelry store. I made it an hour, you guys. I don't even think I make it an hour. Thanks to you guys, I am. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm glad everybody bought this week. But if you can't, you can't. No big deal. That is a good day. Built a gold clean out table at the end of last fall. Can't wait to try it out. The only crappy part is it's all gold around here. is flour gold. That's okay, Rick. Have you, I know you know what a dream mat is. Have you seen Flower Gold Wizards? Jason from Flower Gold Wizards, have you seen the one that he made for Flower Gold? Now, I'm not saying he's got the best design out there, but I mean, if you look at his setup and how he does it and how it runs, it's pretty efficient, especially when it comes to flower drilling. And then of course you got your gold table too, which helps out quite a bit. That's awesome, Miss Aloha. That is awesome. Good job talking to her about stacking, though. Sometimes you just got to break things down in a way that people can understand them. And for me, that's the easiest way for me to save is through stacking. And so that's how I do it. I was explaining some stuff to my daughter the other day. And we were talking about how we could be going into war and all that other stuff, and how this country was founded on immigration and a whole bunch of stuff, right? And I said, "Do you know who our longest ally is?" And I said, "France." And she said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Well, there's been coins in history. The coins with the lady and the shield and the baby behind it and the lion in front of it. The lion is England. The lady with the shield is France, and the baby is the United States because we're such a new country, you know." So all of that. And she goes, "Okay." And I said, and essentially, and you guys follow along with me, I said, essentially, the Declaration of Independence is the oldest set of divorce papers in the world. And she said, "Huh?" And I said, "The Declaration of Independence is the oldest set of divorce papers in the world." And she said, "Divorce papers." And I said, "Yeah, because if you think about what the Declaration of Independence is that is us declaring independence from England, declaring our own independence, telling them that whatever you want to do, you can't tax us no more. We're making our own country. We're all the way across the water. You can't affect us anymore. This is what's going to happen." So think about a divorce. One party says, "I'm away from you, just across the water. There's nothing you can do to me anymore that's going to affect me negatively because I'm divorcing you. Can't tax me no more. Nothing." So essentially, the Declaration of Independence is the oldest set of divorce papers. She looked right at me and she says, "Oh my God, Dad, that is so true. Now that you put it that way, that makes so much sense." And I'm like, "Yeah. Sometimes you gotta bring it to their level for them to understand it." Do you want to know what the problem is, Miss Aloha in CW? That history lesson I was teaching my 17-year-old. She should have already learned that lesson in school. Now, the great thing is my 11-year-old was listening in the back seat, so she got the lesson at the same time. It would suck when it's time to go pick up the kids in England. Yes. Catcom, what's up, buddy? So at least my 11-year-old was learning that lesson in the back seat. They don't teach shit anymore, Miss Aloha. All they do is prep you for college, and that's if you are good enough for them to prep you. And if you're not, they're going to push you through anyways. That's the problem. They say our teachers are overwhelmed, and yeah, so I get that. Our teachers might be overwhelmed, so put another teacher in the classroom. Plenty of substitute teachers out there that need a job. Double it up. You know, when I was going to school, so I think about like my 5th grade class. My daughter's 5th grade class had 32 kids in it. One teacher and 32 kids. One teacher, 32 kids in the 5th grade class. Do you want to know what my 5th grade class was like? I had one teacher and 2 teacher assistants, and there was 12 kids. Now, granted, it was a small class, but 12 kids, one teacher, 2 assistants. 2 assistants. So that means 1 adult, 4 kids. We actually learned shit in school. I went to school in an era when if your grades weren't good enough, guess what they did? They held you back. They didn't move you forward anyways. But ever since they passed the No Kid Left Behind thing, which is good in a lot of cases, just Luke Bryan songs. That's like carpet bombing versus Precious Dykes. Precise strikes or precision strikes. No, I get it, CW. I get it. But things are different. Times are different now. They're very concerned with making sure there's no second-year seniors out there instead of making sure that people actually retain the information that they're being taught. And if they don't retain the information, it comes a time where, you know, listen, let's be clear. You know, everybody there's got to be potato peelers, you know. So it is what it is, right, CW? And yes, college is not what it used to be either. Well, Miss Aloha, now my daughter, she took shop, she took welding in school as well. That's a new name for them. They used to call them fuck ups when I was going to school. No, I know. I know. I was just fucking around. Listen, guys, I mean, I graduated when I was 16, right? I went to school in a time where I could double up on classes and get my stuff done a whole lot faster. So I didn't graduate with my class. I graduated with the class that was 2 classes ahead of me. And then I went to college. Yes, you can. And so when my daughter was taking welding in school, she said, "Dad, look at my beads. I'm stacking beads. Look at my beads." And I looked at him and she says, "My teacher says this." And I said, "Okay, well, this is what I need you to do. I need you to understand that when you're welding, okay, especially when you're welding MIG, okay, you're pushing the wire out and the gun forward, right? So the puddle you're looking at is just slightly on the mark or slightly ahead of it is the puddle you're creating as you go. And if you do it, what are you talking about? I know it does. Just follow along with me, Silver. Okay? With MIG, you push, with stick, you pull, correct? Thank you. Okay, so I'm trying to teach my daughter how to create the puddle and to look for the puddle when she's doing it. And once I told her where to look for the puddle, her beads looked 20 times better, and she went from a C minus to an A minus. So she jumped 2 grade levels just by watching and telling her where to look for the puddle. So then when she was doing stick, I told her you have to look at the puddle about a half inch behind the stick because that's where the puddle's developing. And you also have to keep in mind slag is and slag sucks, and you get that with stick opposed to wire feed where you have an argon gas most of the time cleaning as it pushes. You can use multiple different gases, but the one that I used was argon. And then when, of course, you're cutting, you can use propane or acetylene. Of course, acetylene is the best way to go. However, it's more expensive. I am WABU certified, Washington State certified for full pen ultrasonic welds. I know how to weld. Yep, that's what I said, yeah. So yes, understood. So about a half inch to an inch behind the stick is where you look for the puddle when you're dragging. So once I told her those things, she did much better. Give me 1 second, you guys. For some reason, my chat disappeared on me. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm back. Are you guys still there? Give me a 5x5 if you guys are still with me. I can stick, MIG, and TIG. What's going on, Stuart? Aluminum does require TIG welding in most cases. It's normally the torch and the aluminum stick, so you can arc weld aluminum, but TIG typically would be a better fit for it. And the reason arc welding aluminum really doesn't work that well is aluminum is a conductor, but it's not as good as steel. That's good, Silver Serpents. Torch welding is cool. It's essentially just like soldering, except for you use the torch to heat up the steel or the metal of whatever you're doing and use the wire to feed. Aluminum does like to melt fast. What's going on, John? Well, I hope this pain med kicks in quick so I can talk longer. My doc was like, I know you can feel that. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. He's like, do you want me to stick with more pain meds? And I'm like, dude, just fucking go. Sometimes you just gotta man up and fucking get through it. So let's just fucking do it. Come on. He was like, all right, let's fucking go. I'm like, come on, Matt, get it done. Got any extras? He gave me a script. The stuff I ate, just a few, is the stuff that I had left over for when they pulled all my teeth out. I'm not a pill guy. Like, you guys, when I had my aneurysm, they were feeding me 7.5 milligrams of oxys every 4 hours. And honestly, after the first day, I took myself off of them. And I told them just give me Tylenol and ibuprofen unless I asked for it because I wasn't going to need it. And she said, what are you talking about? You're going to be in pain. And I said, you listen up, lady. I'm going to tell you this right now. And I want you to hear me clearly, very clearly. Write it down in my chart. She said, okay. And I said, you guys are not going to let me leave here or have me leave here with a pill addiction to Oxycontins. So if I need it for the pain meds, I will ask you for it, but you will not be feeding me 7.5 milligrams of that crap every 4 hours. She looked right at me. With the biggest smile on her face, and she said, my pleasure. I have no problem doing that for you, Todd. So after day one of my 3-week stint in the ICU at Harborview, I took myself off that shit. So I'm not a pill guy. I don't like taking ibuprofen even or Tylenol. I take it when I can't control the headache or when it gets too bad. You know, I like to have some of that stuff around in case I do end up hurting myself or injuring myself. Oxymoron. Yeah, well, heroin's easier to find and cheaper. So that's why they go there. But honestly, I didn't need addiction like that. I'm addicted to 2 things, you guys. I smoke, okay? I smoke. I'm a heavy smoker. Not like cigarettes. I'm a heavy smoker, okay? I do my thing. I'm not a drinker, really. let's be clear. You guys saw me polish off about a quarter of a fifth of Stoli one night. And this apple pie, that's the most I've drinking in the last 6 to 8 months. I'm just not a drinker. Right? So, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to finish this shit off. But that's just, it's not what I do. I don't drink to get drunk. I don't drink for a buzz. I drink socially. So the fact that you guys are on the internet is the only reason why I feel really comfortable enough to drink this. Because I hate drinking alone. My life is not that miserable. That's the cool thing about me, bro. I've had so many teeth pulled out. I've never had a dry socket in my life. Which is good. John, I can grow 4 plants of shit for myself as well. And John, I grew up in Oregon, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, it wasn't legal then. But I grew up in the country. People had their own stashes growing. Now that, with the pain med I should be feeling good here soon enough. Never got a dry socket from smoking, but might have more teeth left if I didn't. No, that wasn't from OC. STG, me and Bear. You've seen Bear in my chat, right? Bear 4 or 7 something or another. He lives local. He's actually local to me within like 20 minutes. So I took some root beer moonshine that my friends made, and he brought me some apple pie, and we met up at a local Starbucks, and we sat there and BS'd for about 3 hours, just talking, getting to know each other. Oh, Catcom, of course you could if you wanted to. So yeah, we sat there for about 3.5 hours, BSing, talking, chilling. It was pretty cool. Yeah, well, OC saw it the other night when I was drinking from it, and he said, "Did I send you some moonshine?" And I'm like, "No, you didn't send me any apple pie." OC sent me a bunch of his cream before, though. He's super cool. But he's yet to send me any of his goody stuff. But yeah, so that jar was pretty smooth. The root beer, the jar of root beer moonshine I brought him was one of the big ones. You know, it was like this big around. It was full. The root beer shine is really, really good. It's very full. But here's the rub on that. When you pour a shot of it, it tastes like you're drinking alcoholic flat root beer. Now, if you take a couple of shots of that and put it in a half can of actual mug root beer, fabulous. Just fucking fabulous. You could drink it like it's root beer. It goes down so smooth. It drinks just like the root beer. It tastes just like the root beer. That you can get half the jar in and not even realize it. And by then, If you're not me, you're fucking tatered. What's up, John? John, is that because you're bad? Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. What's up, Lane? You can hold your liquor? I can too. What happened again, Waller? Don't tell me you're streaming me again, fucker. Check Discord, I'm looking right now. I just see, yo, dude, that just happened. What happened again? Did Ronnie come through? Right on, you guys. Have a good night. Soda Serpents, have a good night, bro. I appreciate you coming over. Dave Schumer received a gift membership by Raymond Martinez. What is that? I don't get it, bro. Yes, I know when I'm getting gifted memberships, yes? Oh, Silver Serpents, bro. It's always a pleasure. When I have the time, I'll be over. And if you're on in the next couple of days, I'll come over and see you as well. Oh, Dave Schumer's an AOA co. Why is he over there buying memberships for other people? Oh, he received one. Why is he part of your? Why is he sub to you? That's the question, right? That's fucking trippy. You know what? That's one more sub. Fuck it. Who cares? Screw him, dude. Who cares? You know what? It wouldn't surprise me any if there's one or two that are sub to me just because of the type of person Ronnie is. Like, I'm no threat to him. I never was. But he's still going to be a douchebag about it. So, fuck him. Who cares? That's just one more sub for you, man. The only thing that sucks about that, is one of your actual members or subscribers that would enjoy to have a membership for you didn't get it because I got it instead. bro, we both know, and everybody else who knows us knows that he's a joke. It doesn't run on water, CW. It runs on the hydrogen in the water, right? It's a small little reactor under the hood that converts through like a fusion, converts the hydrogen out of the water through like a fission transaction or transfusion or something like that, and turns it into energy, which powers a car, if I'm not mistaken. And that technology has been around for a while. It just never went mainstream because you're pretty much driving around a hydrogen bomb under the hood. Yeah, silver sewing machine. So B. Waller created his channel and started coin roll hunting, and Ronnie lost his fucking wig. And I had created my channel and really wasn't doing a whole lot of content. But then I decided to go live after he lost his wig over Waller. A couple of weeks later, after I went live, he lost his wig to me and a couple of other people too. He lost it over John. He lost it over Deneen, a couple of different people. He's just a fucking... When you stop drinking the AOA Kool-Aid, you're a bad guy. Well, so it depends, to be honest with you, because with the right energy, you don't need combustion. So you might not need combustion depending on how you're doing it, right? So if you think about it, you can. So I mean, if you think about it, you only need the first initial light up, right? And then after that, it can be ran on heat like a diesel engine, essentially. And with how the fission process operates, you already have water, so you wouldn't be experiencing any excessive heat. So I don't think that you would have to worry about rust like that. I think the bigger problem, John, is that you're essentially driving around a hydrogen bomb under the hood of your car. And then now you have to keep in mind how reckless people are with their driving and how many accidents people get into. So then you have to worry about essentially nitrogen bombs going off every single time there was a car accident. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm all about population control, okay? And that would definitely be a quick way to get there, but there would be a lot of collateral damage. And that's funny That's funny. That you mentioned that CW, that you were just quoting that show. I thought you were actually popping off with some government shit somewhere. We're not talking about a nitrogen gasoline powered engine. We're talking about a nitrogen only powered engine to get off of fossil fuels. I mean, essentially, the reason why you would get nitrogen involved would be to get off of fossil fuels in the first place. I mean, if you think about it, we should be dealing with more nuclear power in the first place. You know, the reason that we don't is everybody fears another Chernobyl. Well, let me be honest with you. The guys at Chernobyl were ignoring all of their warning signals and all of the warnings that were being told to be warned about, and they kept pushing forward and was told to produce twice as much as they're supposed to produce. And they said, okay, and turn the knob. You know, Chernobyl happened through carelessness and lack of regulation, where nowadays regulation is so that there's no chance of another Chernobyl like that unless something very, very catastrophic happened. Nuclear power is the most clean energy we can produce other than solar or hydrogen, or hydro generated, right? So there are many forms of energy that we can be utilizing. Things started with Blaine. Blaine was the nucleus to the Ronnie flat spin flip out toss everybody associated with Blaine. The sad thing is Blaine was so small at the time for Ronnie to react the way that he did was completely out of right field. It was just totally unseen, unpredicted. It caught people off guard and by surprise. Well, see, the thing about it is he really doesn't know what the girls don't tell him. That's the thing with Ronnie is he's a puppet. Ronnie's just a puppet. Okay? And anytime you should talk to him, you should just call him puppet. Just call him puppet and just watch. Watch, you'll see a spark start inside, and he will create this wildfire that will be so unbelievable to watch him turn into the Human Torch and self-destruct. It would be so amazingly funny to happen. So next time I see him, I'm gonna call him puppet, and we'll see what he says. I'm just gonna call him puppet. I'm just gonna keep calling him puppet. Anything he says to me will be okay, puppet. Okay, puppet. Okay, puppet. And we'll see what he says. He'll lose his shit. He will lose his shit. Dude, I had less than 500 subs and he was trolling me. Do you remember that, Blaine? Do you remember when he was in my chat trolling me when I had less than 500 subs? And then he started picking on Graydon. You know, it's like, dude, you're a grown-ass man. Pick your battles. I know you're scrawny and you don't weigh a whole lot and you're not very strong, but does that mean you need to pick on kids? You know, it's like, come on, dude. If you're not witty enough to take on an adult, or at least somebody half your age, then get the fuck out of the sandbox. And if Ronnie was here, I wish he was. If he was here, I'd be telling him the same thing. I am not afraid of Ronnie or whatever any of his minions think that they can do to me. Ronnie can suck my big fat cock. The most respectful way possible, I say that. I'm sorry. I'm actually talking like I'm talking to my like I'm talking to my journal or something. I'm talking to you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not like meaning to let you guys in on a little secret here. Sorry. I know he is. I know he is. I like Graydon. I'm sorry. I opened up my show about how I really feel about Ronnie. Yeah. Yeah. Ronnie. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. I care about humanity. And I'm stating this before I state my next statement. I care about humanity. However, some people are a waste of good skin. Does that make sense? Give me a 5x5 if you understand what I'm saying. Nick, Raka, what's up? Nick, are you okay, man? Fucking dork pushing the car by yourself. Then the car gets away from you, you try to chase it down, you fall, land on your face, get up, fall, land on your face again. Nick, what does the matter with you? Alright, so you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah, so I unfortunately have to say that Ronnie is one of those people. And what he did to that skin was he turned it into something that looks like a Gollum with long hair and a skater cap. Okay? And I'll be dead honest with you. If you pop over to Blaine's channel, he's got a Gollum, skater cap, and black hair, and looks just like Ronnie. Dead serious. I'm not lying. You know what? Check this out. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you because I can. I'm going to show you right here. Look. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on. That's pretty close, man. Pretty close. That looks like an Everett meth head. You're exactly right. It does look like an Everett meth head, except for this guy is in Ashland, Oregon. Nick, you need to go see the doctor. Nick, look at that. Even better shot right there. It's Medford, not Methford. I know what you're saying though, but it is Medford, Oregon, which is right around the street from Ashland. So this is what Ronnie looks like when he's coin roll hunting. Yes, you were agreeing to some people are a waste of skin, Raka. If that's not the case, I understand. But I was just saying that there are some people out there that unfortunately are a waste of skin. If you don't believe that way, that's fine, Raka. I understand. Only a couple of people said they understand. And that's all I was saying is I was just saying that some people are that way. I wasn't saying that you have to agree that this person's that way. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to agree with that statement. You don't have to. And I don't take it to heart that you do or cheer you on that you do. I was just trying to understand if people knew what I meant by that. It's just some people just aren't worth your time. They're not worth anybody's time, and they're just a drain on society. You give somebody a shot so many times and they still flounder it. It's hard to keep faith. Even though I still do, but it's just hard. But I think Ronnie is one of those people that he runs a cult, and if you don't drink the Kool-Aid, if you don't drink his Kool-Aid, yeah, well, same type of thing. I just take it to a much more real extent. That's all. I grew up in Oregon. Actually, I grew up an hour and a half north of where Ronnie is in Medford, Oregon. I grew up in a place called Sunny Valley, Oregon, on a road called Placer Road. Placer Gold is why this road was called Placer Road because there was a placer gold mine at the top of the road. I get it. That guy is just really not very nice. And I went on a rant about him and I'm done. Enough with him absorbing my energy and my time. Hey, Blaine, did you and OC figure something out? Well, I'll be honest with you, man. He wants to replicate that. Think about it is, man, is I'm already the genius that came up with the idea. You have some holly blue and some Chandler Mountain carnelian. The carnelian would be cool. What color is the carnelian, John? Because traditionally carnelian is more like a yellow, kind of orangish. Mine is definitely a 1 of 1, bro. You have red too. I didn't know it can go all the way to red, but I knew that it was yellow to orange. My daughter is a rock hound. She loves rocks. She loves fucking rocks. Actually, the troubled one in one of his pay dirts, he sent her pretty much double a golf ball size. So like just smaller than a baseball size Herkimer diamond. It was pretty badass. But yeah, she is the rock hound. She's got a lot of pyrite. She's got a lot of quartz, all kinds of stones. I got her a rock polisher for Christmas, so she polishes her rocks too. But yeah, he sent her a Herkimer diamond about just smaller than a baseball. And Bob, have you guys actually? Bob lives next to a coal mine, and he sent me a baseball-sized piece of coal, which is super cool because it's a raw piece of coal, you know. And I don't know if you guys have you ever seen like a raw piece of coal, like literally a piece of coal. He just walks up the mountain up his backyard, and he can pick the stuff up off the ground. But I thought that was super cool. He sent me this in one of his payers. You know, where I grew up, that stuff's not as readily available. Dinosaur turd, yeah. There are lots of places to hunt for agates. There's a lot of places up here to hunt for agates as well. But Oregon's better for hunting for agates because the weather's always better. You can get out more. But yeah, I thought that was super cool. I never had a big piece of coal like that before. Fuck. I live a couple of hours from Crater of Diamonds here in Arkansas. Mount Rainier is about 3.5 hours south of me. Only 2.5 as the crow flies, though. Your state has granite? Nice. Nice. Yep. My state has granite, too. It's kind of crazy. Yep. Very few states have granite. I'm very proud of your state for having granite. It's a state where you can hunt for diamonds and keep what you find. That's awesome. That is awesome. Finding diamonds is sick. Check into Walker Valley for your daughter. There's blue agate, there's opal, and geodes. Nice. I will. I get her a geode every year. She likes hitting a rock with a hammer, I think, more than anything else. But she likes the crystal on the inside too. Blue agates are cool. And opal is her birthstone. But we can find a lot of that stuff just walking up Highway 2. We can go up to Four Fingers. You know where that is, right? By the ice caves. John, up Highway 2. Have you been up there before? You know what I'm talking about? Walker Valley rock mining, you need hammers and chisels and safety glasses. Okay. Well, my buddy lives up too, and we go up to the ice caves in the summertime all the time. Now you can't go to the ice caves like inside, but you can go up to the side of the mountain. You just can't go into the caves. And that's a really good area to look for stuff too. We go up there all the time too. We're always getting out. What's going on, Gary? Yeah, what are you doing awake, Craig? You can't sleep, or your hour's just off? You used to be seeing some Z's right now, brother. So, Gary, I got more stuff coming. I got Metal Mob chip coming. I got Humble Stacker stickers coming. And I got my own poker chips. You're going to get 2 poker chips and some Humble Stacker swag and a Metal Mob sticker when all my stuff comes in. You're going to get a big swag pack from Humble. All right, Blaine, have a good night, bro. Thanks for popping by. You know you're more than welcome anytime, man. I appreciate you for coming in. No problem, Gary. No problem. I know I'm late on sending you some swag in the first place, but when I get it, I'm going to send you some more. So you'll get my sticker, the Metal Mob sticker, the Metal Mob poker chip, and my poker chip all in the same run. So you'll be getting 2 chips and 2 stickers. Well, you'll get more than 2 stickers, but you'll be getting 2 chips and some stickers. So I got you, man. I appreciate your patience, though. And everybody else who I owe stuff to, I'm horrible at shipping. I really am. Okay. I come and I get online with you guys and I hang out and then I go to bed and I wake up and I go to work. But I'm just horrible at shipping shit. I have a list of every stuff. It's all written down if it's not already put together, and I just haven't mailed it out. So I know I owe people shit. But I'll get it out to you guys. It's all yours still. I just suck at shipping. Jasper's from down here to the province with loads of places that is behind logging gates, and the warehouse or the timber companies don't want you to go. I'm late on uploading a video also, so no problems being late with anything. I got you, bro. So, so down there though, it's called BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. Weyerhaeuser does do a lot of stuff down there too, but most of the big government is all BLM, and you normally can go up rock counting, but I guess regulations are what they are, and fences being what they are. The thing about Oregon is if you're caught trespassing, you can be shot and killed, opposed to other states where it's not quite as severe. So Oregon would be the one place that I wouldn't be trespassing in much. I gave my daughter 2 small pieces of meteorite that I have that are in little they're encapsulated. But the thing about it is they're just little fractions. They're not very big pieces, they're slivers. But it is meteorite, which is cool, but it's nothing substantial. Meteorite's pretty cool. Finding one would be awesome. Yeah, that makes sense, John. So, outside of the town we grew up in, or I grew up in, there was another town called Wolf Creek, which is pretty close. They had one sheriff that sheriffed both towns. That's how small they were. Anyways, up the mountainside, there was a series of ponds up there, but one of them was the furthest and most remote away. And ironically enough, they put feeder fish in it, or not feeder fish, but they put stalker fish in it every year. So totally crazy, right? So they're stocking it, but it's so remote that nobody can ever get to it. We had a really nice truck and with really good 4-wheel drive, and we drove up there every year, and we would get like 20 fish and then harvest them and then bring them home. I mean, we would, and it was on like pot skis, balls of fire. But you know where Wolf Creek is? Well, I grew up in Sunny Valley. It's called Wolf Creek now. Okay, so do you know where Sunny Valley is opposed to Wolf Creek? Do you know the difference between the two, John? Oh my God, what's up, bro? That's a beanie. No, my hunting has always been with a rifle, CW, but I would love to hunt with a bow if I was good enough to do so. Okay, well, 7 feathers is kind of close, but so okay. Do you know where Grants Pass is? I'm assuming yes. So you're heading north up I-5. You're leaving Grants Pass. You go through um, Merlin, then you go through Hugo, right? And then you go over the mountain pass, come down into that valley. Okay, that first valley is called Sunny Valley. Okay? You have a bar. I hunt for deer. Yeah. Yeah, right over that first pass, you have a bar. Okay? You have well, you had two bars. You have a hotel, a KOA campground, and a historical center and a covered bridge. Okay? It's one of the only 5 covered bridges in Oregon that are still working. Okay? So as you go over that covered bridge, you come across one main road. It's called Placer Road. That was the road I lived on. If you drive up that road, 1.378 miles to 1378 Placer Road, that's where I lived. That's where I grew up. All right, Nick, have a good night, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out, bro. I hope you feel better. Cumulus. Sometimes you hunt bar beaver. Jesus. Nick, get some rest, bro. Do I miss that town? No. It was a different time. When you go to a town like that, you go back in time. STG, brother. Now, I loved the land we grew up. I grew up on, the house I grew up in, the area I grew up in. I miss all of that. I loved all of that. Okay, I could live without all the people. All the people were too. Most of the people were too backwoods. Red, what's going on? Um, kind of a little pepper hillbillies with a lot of ignorant fool. That's a cutthroat business. Yeah, well, Donna, there comes a time in a person's life when they have to realize that they're not the spring chicken they wish they were. And that when you decide to push your car without a driver in it and it starts gaining momentum and it starts moving faster than you can, and then you keep trying to chase it down, fall on your face, don't learn your lesson, get up and start running again, fall on your face again, There comes a time when somebody's got to be the voice of reason telling you, hey, buddy, you got to go to the doctor. You just told me you might have broke your wrist and maybe some ribs. You're fucked up. You got to go get checked out. Matsukai. Oh, that's awesome, flying machine. I've got to be massively messed up to go to the doctor, but sometimes you just got to go. Look, Red, I feel you. Okay? It has to either be broken or I can't stop the bleeding for me to have to go. And that's initially. If I'm realizing at one point, because reality does sink in. If you realize at one point that you need to go, but it's just too much of a pain in the ass, then you just got to pull up your big boy fucking pants and go to the doctor. Are you talking about having to go to the doctor, STG? Or are you talking about the pine mushrooms? Well, I'll be honest with you, CW, not everybody does. So the fact that you do is awesome. And I don't know if it's that they don't or if they just don't want to go through the process. Okay, because if you go through the process initially, then it's easier every time you go in because they're familiar with you. They learn your patient history, and it's easier to deal with people, and they build a rapport with you. They get to know you, things like that. Where opposed to somebody who goes, has a bad experience, and then never goes again. So I would imagine that it really depends on the VA hospital you're going to and the type of patient you are. You're obviously a good patient because not everybody is a good patient. So even though they're getting great care, a bad patient's a bad patient. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily their fault that they're a bad patient because they could just be in so much pain that they can't express what needs to be expressed. And, it's just a communication breakdown more than anything else. Yeah, you guys got to understand that STG lives in the concrete jungle. My favorite mushroom is the chanterelle. Okay. My favorite mushroom is the chanterelle. And I don't like spores other than psychedelic ones. Okay. But my favorite mushroom to eat in like a mushroom risotto would be the chanterelle. It's meaty. Okay. It's easy to clean, easy to harvest, and easy to find. You just have to look for old growth. The problem with looking for old growth in a lot of cases is up around here, you find snakes, things like that. So you just got to be aware of your surroundings when you're looking for it. But I do prefer chanterelles if I am going to eat a mushroom. Chanterelles are it for me. That's awesome, Gary, that you get to go do that. And even though it might seem mandatory, it's only in your best interest. Even though you probably are smart enough to know the difference between which ones are edible and which ones aren't, it's still smart to go. Oh ho ho, redliner. You're so funny, Red. That's funny. You're a poet and didn't know it. You're just a master with words. You wordsmith. Yes, truffles can go for buku bucks, but not just any truffle. It has to be the right truffle, right? And good harvested black truffles probably go for the most in most cases. But you have to go to like a very remote area to get those ones, so I forget what they are. And the best thing to do, you gotta bring a pig with you. You gotta bring a pig with you. If you don't bring a pig with you, you're never gonna find all the good truffles. I love mushrooms for microdosing. I don't know why everyone doesn't do it. Also, ghost pipe, not psychedelic kirtans. Well, honestly, I prefer psychedelic silver selling, but microdosing. Let's talk about that. Microdosing is good. The problem is people don't do things in moderation. Okay, and that's why it's not as brought up as mainstream as it probably could be. You had some great smoke called platinum truffles. That sounds interesting. They use dogs now. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people that still use pigs, but I understand. The only mushroom I know is from Mario Brothers. Okay, so those mushrooms are very similar. The sheep's head mushroom is similar to a chanterelle in the texture of the meatiness of it, right, Gary? But chanterelles are my favorite one. They look like a French horn. They're yellow to orangish in color. A nice deep yellow is what I look for when I look for a chanterelle. Chocolate truffles are great, Rocca. I like chocolate truffles too. My favorite mushrooms are the ones next to a medium rare 20 plus ounce prime rib. That's what I'm talking about right there, Red. It's just like taking prescriptions except doesn't have 10K side effects, so you have to get more prescriptions also. And actually taking high doses, okay, and people for thousands of years have been taking THS prime rib is good stuff. Yeah, no, silver sewing machine, I get it. Natives have been dosing on peyote for years as well. And, with the sweat rooms, that helped out quite a bit with the inducing of the effects of the peyote itself and or mushrooms. I get it. Um, Timothy Leary, when he made LSD, he had a lot of what were considered crazy ideas at the time, but aren't as crazy now if you think about some of them. I'm too trained and stoned to talk about him right now, but I'll be honest with you, I know he had some ideas that would that mainstream, and that was back then. It was talked about how it opened up your third eye when you were on LSD and you could see things that you wouldn't normally see and think ways that you wouldn't normally think. And I'll be honest with you, I've dosed quite a few times and it is quite the experience. Hummel's been around the block. first major concert was Grateful Dead in '95 before Garcia died. You don't like LSD, but you like mescaline. Here we go again. What are we talking about? I'm just old. So I'm going to see my daughter on Friday. I'm going to get a little humble her thing here. And her cop around. And I'll have her pop on your live. She won't be able to pop on under her own. But she'll say something in her mind for you, bro. You're right, I am only 23. You do. It's kind of weird. At the Dead, they started with paper squares, went to sugar cubes, and then went to an eyedropper at the end of the 4-day run. Not in the eye, in a beer, but that's because I didn't want to put it in my eye, because I heard if you put it in your eye and you move your eye too fast, you could go blind from doing it, so I didn't do it that way. John, no way, you can't be older than me. I'm older than dirt. Blotter and dots. Yep, blotter, baby. Blotter. Triple dipped. White window pane is what I had the first time. $65. Well, you know what, John, you're only as old as you feel. And if that's the case, I feel 90. But no, a lot of people are older than me, but I can relate to a lot of people. Well, that just sounds like a bad trip. No, I guess it just depends on how you expect it. So they say the people around you create your trip, right? So if you're around an environment that you want to be in, then you'll have a good trip. If you're around people that can create a bad environment for you, then you'll potentially have a pretty bad trip. So LSD can be very enjoyable when done with the right people. Anyways, that's what it was back in the day. Things are a lot different now. In the 70s, you walk around with jugs of psilocybin tea. Nice. So my dad told me when he was growing up that they used to smoke weed out on the street corner, and the cops didn't know what it was, so they didn't care. They just drove by him and waved at him and just kept going. They also told me some crazy stories where, like, they wanted to go deal with some guy that was picking on him in school, so they went over and they talked to some guy about buying a gun, and they bought an AK-47. They buy this AK-47 ammunition, and it's too heavy for them all to carry it. So they grab a shopping cart and put it in the shopping cart, and they're wheeling it down the street. That was crazy. Some of the stories he told me. Put a blanket over it and push it down the fucking street in a shopping cart. My grandma actually hot shit, so I laughed once. I wasn't scared. No, that's cool. She made it awesome. It was one ruler in 1500. Oh, I mean like a person in time deemed mushrooms illegal. For some reason my live chat wasn't on. It was on top chat. Give me a second. I was having a hard time keeping up with chat. There we go. I feel you, John. I grew up in the 80s, so a tale of the 70s and into the 90s. So tall hair bands, buddy. Tall hair bands. Tight leather jeans and tall hair. Grew up on Motown and rock, classic rock. A wide range of music I listen to. Block, you still here, bro? Awesome, appreciate you. Was it Nero? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? I remember going to the rough part of town and paid $10 for a little dime bag of shaken seeds. That is crazy. CW, when I was 14, I bought a 20 sack in school for my birthday. I brought it home, smoked it out of a can pipe over the weekend, brought it back to school, sold it for $20. The guy I sold it to went around telling people I sold him weed, got in trouble, and the whole football team got in trouble for smoking pot, except for like 3 people, because when they got to me, I went and rat on the rest of them. So I got expelled, and everybody else got suspended for not giving it up. Oh, Whitesnake and REO Speedwagon. Dude, let me tell you something about Whitesnake, man. Steve Vai, one of the best guitarists and underrated guitarists out there, man. That guy can fucking shred. Yep, I know. That's what dimes and nickel bags. Yes, Cumulus, just make sure that you German in first and make sure there's no males. Pull the males. Clone the females. Satriani. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. And even some of that tight stick. You know that stuff that's tied to the stick? We are the youth gone wild. Oh yeah, buddy. Poison, some warrant, 18 in life. Skid Row. You know, Sebastian Bach, that is a tall mofo. The guy was like 6'9". Hawaiian Kush was always the best back in the day, John. You are 100% correct. So where I was growing up, you got a lot of Colombian and Mexico weed with a lot of seeds in it. Okay, and every quarter, like every 2-3 months, you get a really good batch of green that would come out on the market that was hydroponic, and you'd be able to get like 3 or 4 bags of it before the harvest was gone, and then you had to wait for the next one to come out. First concert, Rat, Great White, and Warrant. That would have been a great show. Dude, Gary, I would love to go skydiving. I've never been, always wanted to. Dr. Hook was your first concert? My first concert was the Grateful Dead. But I have seen a lot of music. A lot of music. One of my favorite shows I ever saw was Tenacious D. That was a great show. Everlast was a good show. Tool, ironically enough, not a good show. The music was great, but not much stage presence. 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, great showman. Metallica, I've seen Metallica 5 times. I've seen Kid Rock 3 times. Kid Rock was great. Last time I saw Kid Rock, he turned his back to the stage, mic down to his side, and there was singing going on. I was not very impressed with that. He lost something after Joe C died. When he was with Joe C, he was a different musician than he was later in life. I've seen The Offspring. That was fun. Blink 182. Blink 182 was cool. No, I've seen a lot of bands, a lot of music. Stones would have been a good show. Silver Sewing Machine. Mick Jagger. I mean, the guy still to this day runs around like he does. A lot like Angus Young would be if he was still performing. You know, Angus Young, that guy in his concerts, he's backstage in between sets getting pumped with oxygen so he can go out and run for another 7 minutes straight. I mean, that guy is phenomenal. Dude, the Afghanis always had the best hash. Always. However, you can get Afghani blonde, or you could get Turkish. That like so. My dad's buddy used to get discs of hash sent over from Turkey. They were about the size of a full LP album, but they were about 2 inches thick. And on it, it was stamped in the center of it, proper or not property of Turkey, but product of Turkey. And it was opium infused hash, opiated hash. It was the best shit, dude. The best. What I really want, but I can't get so far, is called Passion Number One. Rick, you have a great night, bro. I appreciate you coming by. And man, you come and hang out anytime you want. It's always a pleasure having you in chat, Rick. Anytime, man. Anytime. And hey, email me anytime you ever need anything. That goes for anybody. You guys ever want to chat or talk, just let me know. I'll swap numbers with you. We can chat. Rick, I know you're up in Canada, so to avoid international rates, you guys, I put my Discord on my Humble Stacker channel. So join my Discord, you guys. We can chat on the phone through Discord, and it doesn't cost anything. So if you guys ever want to chat or anything, you can call me on Discord. So sign up through the Discord. Okay, all you guys, when we're done here, go sign up through the Discord so I can accept you as friends and we can chat. So if you ever need anything or want to talk, you guys, just let me know. Used to be able to get Passion Number One seeds from BC Bud Depot. Oh, okay. So I know what you're talking about, a specific strain. Sometimes strains die, man. And I'm not saying that it's died in its entirety, but it could have been crossbred with something else to create a completely different strain. Today's hash is a lot different. Nowadays, today's hash is just compressed keef. It's not really hash at all. Well, if you think about it, you can take a strain, which you should still keep some seeds from the original strain, granted, right? But seeds are easily lost. But you keep the seeds from the original strain, but that's even if they have seeds, right? So they probably don't even have seeds for it anymore. They would probably switch to what it would have been, all clones at that point. And if they decide to crossbreed at that point and they don't keep the original clone rolling, then yeah, you just lose the strain in its original form and then it morphs into something different. I use all my keef to make edibles. Sure. Whenever I have flour, I keef it first and then smoke it and then save the keef. But I really hardly ever smoke flour, so the keef that I have is just compressed, sitting in a little, like what would be a film container. So it really doesn't do much. And honestly, I used to go to a buddy who would sell me his keef for like, 3.5 grams of it for like $20. And it was a plug. It was a plug of keef because he used just a tube and a cylinder and he pressed it, and it was just, but it was nice, but still it's just keef. Yeah, I bet Aerosmith would have been a good show, man. And edibles, like if I go to the store and I buy edibles, so here in Washington, they're 10 milligrams a piece, 100 milligram packs, right? So I can eat all 10 of them, the whole 100 milligrams, and not feel a thing. Back in the day, you used to be able to get a 240 milligram chocolate bar from a dispensary, and you could still feel that, right? But still, edibles, nothing, right? So I have to make my own edibles in order for me to even feel them. And the way I do it, hold on a second, there was a scare during the 1980s and early 90s to try and plant fear into the herb smokers. It didn't work. Oh, I know it didn't, because I still smoke. Yeah, it's been 25 years since I bought seeds from them, so I have no idea about now. Edibles. So I make my own edibles, but I make butter. It always has to be butter. So what you do is you take all your stems and your leaves and trimmings, and you put them into a big, like the big pot, right? The one that you would make like a soup in. And you fill it with water and you boil it down. And then you fill it with water and you boil it down. And then you take that out and put more in, and you fill it with water and you boil it down until you get this thick, about 2-3 inches thick of water, right? And then you take 3 pounds of butter and you put the butter inside there and you boil it together. Okay? What happens at that point is the butter and the THC mold together. Okay? You take it, put it into a sauce or dish or whatever, a pan or whatnot, and you put it in the fridge and you let it cool. After you let it cool, you take the butter and you use it as the oil substitute for, let's say, brownies, right? So when it says to use a cup of oil, you melt a cup of that butter to where it's a cup of oil, and you use that as the oil. And then for whatever water it needs, you use the water from the oil and the butter separating. Use the water in the bottom of that as the water for it. Now what this does is this makes such a potent brownie, okay, that it literally kicks you in the dick. No, I make the butter myself, bro. You ate a brownie tonight. That's why you're still here. Nice. See, I don't mind mushrooms. I actually like mushrooms. Just haven't had them in a while. I haven't done anything harder than smoking weed since my aneurysm. Not that I have to worry about a big pop, but there is always that fear, just a little bit, that something might go wrong. You know what I mean? You think weed is harder than mushrooms? Not mentally. Or I think even physically. I don't think weed's harder than mushrooms at all. Weed's a barbiturate and the mushrooms are a psychedelic. They're just two different classes. Kick Dick Brownie sounds like a marketing play. You know what? It very well could be. But then I met somebody who did tincture, right? So my buddy would do tincture as well, and I would take his tincture, and it was really good stuff, and it tastes like honey, right? Because he would mix it with, he would make a honey tincture because he had honeybees. So he would make a honey tincture, and it was really good, right? But you could take a whole eyedropper of this stuff and drop it on your tongue, and it wouldn't affect me the same way it would affect other people. So literally, I took a whole bottle of it one time and just drank it, and then I felt it. But taking that tincture is actually really good in substitute for the butter. But the only way for me to really feel the edible, I have to make butter, and it's got to be super strong. Divine Tribe 5. Never done it. DMT. I've heard of it, never done it. I don't even remember what it stands for. Yeah, I've had some pretty good trips. Um, I've had some pretty good trips in the forest. I've had some pretty good trips just in the city, man. I had some LSD one time. I was tripping balls, sitting there talking to my friends, and I literally watched my friend just melt in front of me into a puddle. It was crazy. It was nuts. It really was. Just tripping balls. Watching walls breathe. Man, yeah. I've had some pretty crazy times. I do my keef a little different. A Decker box in the oven, then just put it in the mix. Oh, okay, I get you. A Decker box. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done anything other than weed in a long time. All right, Gary, have a good night, bro. We'll see you later, Gary. If you pop on, I'll try to hit one of your live. I got the next few days off, so anybody who streams in obscure hours, I'll try to pop on when I see you popping on, and I'll come and see you guys. And I only say obscure in the fact that when you guys stream most of the time, I'm working. I can't catch it. But now the next few days off, I should be able to. So I'm thinking about doing you guys. I'm thinking about going and getting a matte gas torch and just doing the gold myself. I work for a tire company called Discount Tire. John, they very well could have been just. I mean, the eye sees things that and with the your mind can make your eye show things that aren't there, bro. So, like, it very well could have just been light refractions. I mean, honestly, it could have been all kinds of stuff. It could have just been an image that was popped in front of you that really wasn't there, but was there. Yep, I sling that rubber, brother. Mayo, my teeth cost me over $17,000. Well, you want to know the great thing about that, Mayo? My insurance covered 3,000 of it, right? Which is not a good portion. So that left 14,000. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna send out some more gift memberships. Let's send those out right now. See if any of you guys get a membership. Gary, Oh My Rod, Silver Selling Machine, Mayo, and Blockas. Congratulations, you guys. You were all members of the Humble Stacker. Have a good night, John. Hey, hold on, John. Wait. I got 5 more memberships out. Here we go. There we go. There's the other 5. Cool. So 10 more memberships out. All right. So my insurance paid for 3,000 of it, right? All right, John. Have a great night, bro. So my insurance paid for 3,000 of it. Well, I work for a great company. Now I have 4,500 towards in my health savings account that I could have used towards it, but my company paid for the 14,000. So my out of pocket cost for my teeth was $0.00. Just my time and my pain. My time and my pain, bro. So I got real lucky. I did. Well, I'll be honest with you, bro. My girl was bad, John. My girl was bad. And I'm a very important part of my company. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, okay? But it's taken people 10 more to do what I've done in 5. So it's taken them 15 years to do what I did in 5, right? So my company sees what I do. They see the value in what I bring, and they thought that was a great investment, and it was. Oh, and by the way, 2 years ago, bought me the Santa Fe that I drive today because my car was breaking down and I couldn't afford to buy a new one. So my boss's boss walked up to me and said, "Hey, Car's breaking down? Yeah. Okay, I want you to take it somewhere and see how much it's going to cost to get it fixed. So I did that. And then he goes, hey, that's going to be more than the actual cost of the car. And I said, yeah. And he goes, so here, I want to cut you a check for $6,500. Go out and start shopping for a new car. So I went out and shopped for a new car. They bought me my Santa Fe. So I work for a really, really good company. So when somebody dogs on Discount Tire, it's hard for me to jump on that bandwagon because they just really, really take care of their people. They care more about their people than people think they do. Your Christmas tree is pretty large and could use some 16-inch 37s. Yeah, I bet it could. Cumulus, what state do you live in? Why are you disappointed, man? You disappointed because I work for a great company that paid for all my stuff for me? I'm just lucky. I'm lucky. They see the value when I bring. They're a great company to work for. But if you want a longer story, I can give you a longer story. What do you want to hear about? Want to hear about the time Humble almost got shot deer hunting? Hmm. So I grew up in Sunny Valley, Oregon, right? Well, I grew up with this friend of mine. His name was Kevin Champion. There was Kevin, Danny, Michael, and Steven, and Sheila. So there was 5 kids in this family, and Sheila was the oldest. But Sheila had a boyfriend named Richard. Sheila was 17. Richard must have been 20, something like that. So Richard says, hey, let's go deer hunting. Okay. So me, Kevin, Michael, and Sheila go deer hunting with Richard one time. So we go and we find this great place. It's got a nice field that he sat across the way for, and we're flushing these deer out of the woods so he can shoot one. Well, as we're coming down off the top of the mountain, flushing these deer out, no deer were in the mountain, right? But Sheila happened to be walking down on her horse. Well, Richard Richard didn't realize that John, my Discord is on my homepage. It's just the Humble Stacker. Should be the Humble Stacker or Humble's Heroes. It's one of those two. You should be able to find it, bro. So me, Kevin, Michael, and Sheila were all standing in a line as we're walking down this hill trying to flush deer out. Well, Sheila's way on the end. I'm right next to Sheila, Kevin, and then Michael. So we're spread out about 20 yards, so about 5 yards apart from each other. And we're walking down this hill, and the horse is next to me. Okay. Well, we start to hit the clearing, and we're shouting that there's no deer, so don't shoot because it's just humans here. Well, he saw the horse. He saw the horse, thought it was a deer, and shot. Okay. He shoots twice. I hear right by my head. And then I look up and I see Sheila holding her stomach. Okay? So he missed the horse. Missed me, thank God, and shot his girlfriend in the stomach. Because he shot at the horse thinking it was a deer. Fortunately, the ambulance got there fairly quick, and he was hunting with a .22, which you're not allowed to hunt with anyways. All right, Mayo. Have a good night, bro. I appreciate you. So that was a time Humble almost got shot deer hunting. Night, John. Have a good night, bro. It wasn't the horse with no names, but you know what it was, John? It was a horse of 100 colors. Good night, John. Invite invalid for Discord. Okay, hold on a second, you guys. Hold on. I'm going to post it in chat right now. I just got to go to my phone, so give me a second. All right, Humble Stacker right there. Humble Stacker server. Share invite. Copy link. Link copied. YouTube. Hold on a second. Hey, the Humble Stacker's live, you guys. Hey, the Humble Stacker's live. There you go. Can you guys can click on that link. I know you can because I can click on it and it brings me right there. So click on that link. Should bring you to Discord. So that link should bring you there. Let me know if it works. No, Sheila was not lucky at all. There we are. Is there? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry if there is. You guys, we've been on for 3 hours anyways. I mean, I might as well pop off here soon anyhow. Oh my Rod, have a great night, bro. But you guys pop on Discord. You guys we can Silver Selling Machine. Are you Fish Whisperer or Angela? John is Fish Whisperer. Okay. Oh no, I think. Cumulus, did you join too? John, have a great night, bro. Cumulus, did you just join the Discord also? Or was that Silver Selling Machine? The only reason I'm asking is because it doesn't have your names the same as on my channel as it is on Discord. So just make sure you tell me who you are so I know who I'm talking to. All right, boys and girls, we're looking at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to split. I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be on. I'll probably be on a little earlier because I do have all day off tomorrow. So, maybe I'll be on a little bit earlier and then I'll be on a little bit later. But I'm going to call it a night tonight, you guys. We're talking 12:44. Hummel needs to get some rest. You guys with me still? Hello? All right. You guys, I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a great night. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys, if you join the Discord, make sure you message me who you are so I know who I'm talking to. That way I can put names to people. You guys have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Of course, like I always say, stack what you can where you can, whether that be a 90% piece commemorative, whether that be some silver dimes, 50-cent pieces, quarters. It don't matter. If you can stack it, stack it. Don't be afraid to pick it up. And even if it's just one, it adds up, you guys. It does add up. And if you buy just one, make sure you get a tube also, because there's nothing worse than a half-empty tube. You just want to fill it. Of course, like I say, everything I say is nothing is financial advice. You guys all have a great night. What I talk about just works for me. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all the support, all the care and the love. I can feel it every time I'm on, you guys. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. You guys have a great night, and I will see you all later. Have a great night, you guys.